Self-help book sales are up 16% this year over last year, according to Circana book sales. And a lot of that is driven by a single book, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. And that led me to a discussion with some friends of mine as to what makes that book such a hit over other books. So if you've wondered what really makes a book a bestseller, good news, this video is for you. Hey there, I'm Julie the Book Broad, founder of Book Launchers and creator of Author Launch Kit, your nonfiction book marketing toolkit, all in one awesome piece of software. All right, what makes a bestseller? And this is probably not a spoiler, but it's not just talented writing. Sometimes it's not even talented writing. There might be a lot of good editing, but the writing wasn't actually that good to begin with. Of course, your book has to connect, and it needs to be well written to do that. So I'm not saying that writing is not important, but ultimately there are plenty of books that are exceptional out there. It's not that makes a big bestseller. It's a launch mission so tightly designed, it feels like it was engineered. And let me tell you, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins was a work of genius from a lot of angles. Here's how it played out. The Let Them Theory came out in December of 2024 via Hay House. Its central mantra, 2 words, let them. That resonated so deeply that critics say millions already knew the idea before the book hit the shelves. Now, who is Mel Robbins? I didn't actually know. So I found articles on her from People and The Independent. And according to The Independent, she's a creator and host of the chart-topping series, The Mel Robbins Podcast. And she started her career as a criminal defense attorney before pivoting to self-help and speaking after her 2011 TEDx talk went viral. The talk, titled How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over, has now been viewed more than 33 million times, and Robbins has written more than 10 books inspired by her journey of becoming more confident and fulfilled. Did you catch that? She's written more than 10 books. The Let Them Theory was not her first book. I had no idea she had other books. Some of them haven't done that well at all, from what I can tell. Check out Work It Out, which looks like it was just an Audible book, and it doesn't have very many reviews at all. So just like every other overnight success I've ever researched, her overnight success was more than 10 years in the making. Now, here's another cool part about this story. Let Them was not a book that blew up. It was an idea that willed itself into a book. So here's someone who's creating content, helping people, speaking, and doing a podcast, and writing other books. On this journey, she found a concept that was resonating. Mel Robbins isn't alone in engineering a bestseller before it even existed. James Clear did the same thing years before Atomic Habits hit the shelf. He spent years blogging, testing ideas about behavior change, and building a loyal newsletter audience that practically begged for the book before it existed. Alex Hormozi, he was out there publishing videos, sharing his frameworks, and of course, 2 other books working with real client results long before $100 million offers got its Guinness record-breaking book launch. And Brene Brown, she's the slow burn example. Years of research, TED Talks, and smaller books laid the foundation before daring greatly turned into her cultural voice. The pattern, I hope you see here, is not luck. Luck always helps, but it's leverage. These authors didn't just write one book. They tested their way through many books in most cases, or a lot of content. They were in the world talking about their work, building an audience, and finding the messages that resonated. What does this mean for you? Well, there isn't one way to do this, but the one way none of them took was waiting. They were in front of audiences, sharing, learning, and testing. They built the movement and sold the manual on it. They also all built their own audience. Mel Robbins had her podcast. James Clear, newsletter. Hormozi, his YouTube channel and email list. Now let's get into some of the cool things Mel Robbins has done that showcase some great strategy so you can use it to rob and duplicate for your book launch. Number 1, sell the slogan first and precede it over and over. Years before the book, Robbins was dropping Let Them in podcasts and short videos. By the time her book arrived, millions already had heard the phrase. That's strategy, not luck. Now, Hashtag no boring books isn't as easy as let them, but it was born from a YouTube video where we made a joke about being against boring books. And someone in the comments said, well, that should be a hashtag. And hashtag no boring books was born. Just because you are writing nonfiction doesn't mean it should be boring, right? So get out there before your book is out and talk about your ideas and find the ones that are sticky and lean into them. All right. Number 2, sell pre-orders in the form of event tickets. Now this is kind of funny because as I am prepping this video, we're doing pre-orders for the second edition of Self-Publish and Succeed. And depending on when you watch this, you might still be able to get a pre-order book for $20 and have that include access to our 3-day summit and the replays. But her pre-order was not an afterthought. It was a ticket to a virtual or in-person experience. And this is a cool idea and one that we clearly think is cool because we're using it too. But that concentrates demand into day 1 and explodes on the bestseller charts if you're selling books through retail. We're not. The ticket is only available if you buy direct from us at selfpublishandsucceed.com. One thing she did that I thought was pretty cool though was selling tickets to her book signings, and that included a photo and a signed copy. I love that idea. And while a brand new author with no audience will probably struggle to get people to a book signing, period, let alone getting them to buy a ticket to it, you don't need millions of fans to make this work either. A small but mighty community will do the trick for this. And make some great content for social media and broadcast media too when you're doing these photos and the signed books. Number 3, own your channels of communication. She didn't wait for Oprah or anyone else. She had her podcast, she had her audience, and she had her funnel. Now, that's the cannon she fires from. There's no middleman needed. And when you do that, and you can make waves, you'll find the big players want to feature you and talk to you anyway. Building your own audience comes in for the win again and again. And guess what? Today is the best day to start building your audience. Newsletter, podcast, YouTube channel, they're all content. The best ones are the ones that you fully control, like your own newsletter or podcast. Hormozi did this brilliantly with his launch too, by the way. I broke his launch down in a separate video, so you can watch it afterwards. But ultimately, owning your communication channel and using it is a powerful way to have a massive launch. Number 4, launch twice and tour. This is another thing I think she's done that's kept her in the top of the charts for longer. And that is she essentially prolonged her launch by having the massive book release as wave 1 and then having the Let Them tour as wave 2. So she goes regionally and has spikes in each area where she's traveling. Okay, so now let's apply this to your next book launch with a nice 7-step checklist, shall we? Maybe you won't be the next Mel Robbins, but I can guarantee you don't need to be that well known to make a great income and have a fabulous impact. All right. So number 1, name your transformation. Is your book, does it have one repeatable slogan? And if it does, what is it? 2 words is a sweet spot. But if you need 3, go ahead. And with that in mind, I'm curious what you think mine could be, especially if you've read Self-Publish and Succeed or Self-Promote and Succeed. I think hashtag no boring books, but maybe build books that sell is another. I can't think of a 2-word one. So if you have one in the comments, let me know. Number 2, seed it early in content. Test it first, lean into what's working, and then keep using it. Use it in shorts, podcasts, LinkedIn. Test how people respond to your core idea before writing the book and see if it's sticky, and then use it. Number 3, make pre-orders an experience. A live masterclass, a summit, or inside access, not just a PDF gift. When someone is willing to pre-order your book, buy it when it's not out for a month or 2, what can you do to make it an event or an experience for that person? Number 4, launch in waves. Don't treat your launch day as the finish line. Use events, tours, online summits, corporate tie-ins for secondary, tertiary spikes. When I launched my first book, More Than Cash Flow, the big launch was June, but then I did a media and book signing tour in the winter in Canada. Touring around, not my smartest plan, but hey, I live in Vegas now and I don't freeze like that anymore. Regardless, that tour gave my book a secondary boost, and I am sure it contributed to it being in the top 100 print books on Amazon for 2/3 of that year. Number 5, own as much media as you can. Podcast, newsletter, YouTube, whatever it is, build your own megaphone so you don't have to rent reach. Because if you can control your communication to your audience, you can sell books. It's why we've shifted a lot of our focus to sell my books direct. Sure, you can still buy my books everywhere books are sold, but selfpublishandsucceed.com or selfpromoteandsucceed.com, you'll get the book, and in the case of the second edition, you get a ticket to the summit and the audiobook for free. Then we can email you and build a relationship. You'll be invited to our free community where you'll also get discounts, special training, special calls. Amazon is never going to give you any data on your buyer. So building your own data is a powerful tool. Number 6, feed the engine. Long after release, drip in new primers, bonus content, interviews, group reads to refresh attention. Keep talking about your book long after it's out. Yes, some people will hear the same thing a few times, but most will not remember and will be new and have never heard it. So keep going. Number 7, write your next book. It's pretty rare someone's big breakout book is their first. Mel has written a lot of books already. This big one was not the first. I promise her old books started to sell a lot better after this one came out. Like Brene Brown, when she had her first big hit, her old books started selling a lot better. So keep going. You have more to say, and there are people waiting to hear from you. If you take nothing else away, a bestseller is engineered. It takes a lot of time and a lot of communication leading up to and after your book launch. And it might take writing more than one book. Let Them didn't just resonate, it was composed to resonate. Borrow what works and try your own spin on things, because being predictable is not your goal. Being unstoppable is, and I am here cheering for you. Stay in touch. Like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can keep hanging out and connecting.